Okay, they saying 42% of the global workforce experience burnout. Women reportedly worse off. Yahoo Finance. Another article about how the economy is sus. Pretty much. See. I don't think this current generation has what it takes to handle stress. News always trying to pit genders or races against each other. Interesting. Let me see what else they got. Another we start with knowing what we conclude just to have interview survey people and tailor the results. Pathetic. Okay. The thing is, working life is miserable in the U.S. It doesn't have to be that way. But Americans are stupid. I know it's hard to accept that people in this country can be so dumb. Isn't it? I saw it was a hopeless and quit working. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you do have the working poor. They call it people who work and still barely make enough to make ends meet, or don't even make enough to make ends meet. As far as expenses, which could be anywhere from a stack to a few stacks a month. Depending on your housing costs, from your transportation costs to your food. Yeah, food, energy, gas costs, drink costs. Well, you could just stick to drinking water and save. If you stick to drinking water and don't buy any juice or soda or even lick, you could save close to $100 a month. $50 a month for sure. So yeah, but you people should try that to go straight water 1 month and then maybe the next month add in, if you could add in some Clico or something, some expensive type lick. But try water and just Clico and that's it. Just stick to it, because them the only two drinks you hear that's raw, right? Maybe THC water. But yeah, that's what it is for that. We got this other article, 54% of Americans persistent inflation using savings to pay for everyday expenses. Using savings to pay for everyday expenses. To make ends meet, 27% of Americans say they had to take money out of savings, and more than half say they had. Yeah, because only a small percentage of people are rich and wealthy. So if you're in the middle class, which they say being middle class is damn near struggling nowadays, even upper middle class is like, what the fuck? Roughly 60% of Americans are paycheck to paycheck. I've heard numbers from 60 all the way to 80. I haven't really heard 90 yet, but I've heard 60, I've heard 70, I've heard 80 on that paycheck to paycheck thing. I've heard from 60 to 80, so I guess from anywhere from 60 to 80% of people, yeah, I guess that's a good number. But yeah, how to stay on track. There's a great deal of economic risk right now. Yeah, I mean, if most jobs you go out and see in these buildings barely pay you $100 to come in for the day and work at that building, then it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, most buildings that pay you, especially if it's part-time, they'll barely pay you $40-50 to come in for the day. But some, they could pay you close to $100 in for the day, but maybe $150 at most, but most won't pay you more than $150 for the day. So they come into a building. So I see why people do maybe get their CDL so they could, drive across the country and everything and make probably a few times more. But again, no freedom. You got to go where they tell you to go, But at least you're making twice as much, 3 times as much as going into a certain building in a city, location dependent, at a certain, address. So, but there's no comments to this article, are they? Nope. Is there a video we could watch on this? amid persistent inflation. But yeah, that's what it is, man. I'ma holla. I'm gonna name this 54% of Americans using savings to pay for everyday expenses. I'm gonna call this half of Americans are half of Americans inflation experiencing a persistent inflation and workforce burnout. But yeah, that's what it is. Holla.